In the comments below a recent video I made about the eviction moratorium, I noticed this. Strange you mentioned that you both own properties and also rent a property at the same time. Why? Great question. And I've got an easy, not so strange answer. Plus, I'll throw in a bonus and let you in on how I actually live here for free. Let's go. Hi, my name is Matt Theriault, CEO of Epic Real Estate, where we show people how to invest in real estate so they can escape the daily grind and retire early. In a recent video here on the channel about the eviction moratorium, I shared how I'm both a landlord and a tenant, which gives me the unique ability to understand both sides of that controversial issue. A subscriber picked up on that and asked me why I own rental properties and rent my home. The quick answer is I get to live a nicer lifestyle for a lower cost. So here's how it works. There are 5 specific reasons to own real estate. The same 5 reasons that has had real estate produce more wealth for more people than anything else on the planet. The number 1 thing is you've got the ability to leverage other people's money in a way that doesn't really exist for the average person in any other asset class. You know, when most people buy real estate, they will typically put 20% down and get the rest from a bank. That 5-to-1 ratio of your money gives you a 5x return on any appreciation the property experiences. And that's number 2, appreciation. You see, over time, real estate will appreciate. We've got more people than we've got houses. And we're continuing to make more people than houses we build. Not to mention the new open border policy of the current administration, expected to add 1 million new people to the population through the southern border alone this year. The law of supply and demand will always cause real estate to appreciate. Sure, it's gonna go up and down over time, but it will always go up. Number 3, income. When buying an income property correctly, it will produce a monthly, almost passive income for you. With enough of this type of income, people set themselves financially free, never having to work because their property is working for them. Brad, Josh, Mackenzie, Enrique, Brandon, Jeremiah, Parker have all put themselves in this position recently here at Epic through our REI ACE program. Number 4, deductions. Our biggest expense over our lifetime will be taxes, up to 50, maybe even 60% depending on where you live. And real estate is the best and pretty much the last tax shelter we have available to us. Now, tax deductions, they're not nearly as sexy as, leverage and appreciation and income. But wait until the day you have to write a 5 or 6-figure check to Uncle Sam. They take on an entirely newfound sex appeal. Number 5, amortization. This is the paying down of the money that you borrowed to purchase the property. And combined with appreciation, this is how you build equity and ultimately wealth. Now, when it's an income property, it's not even you that pays this debt down. Your tenant does. So those are the 5 primary reasons to own real estate. Everybody should have some, as most people just don't stand a chance at ever achieving any sort of financial independence unless real estate is a part of their financial plan. But living in the real estate isn't required at all to benefit from real estate as an investment. In fact, for most people, it's probably not even a good idea. And here's why. You see, when you live in a property you own, you lose 2 of the biggest reasons to own real estate: the income and the amortization. Without those 2 profit centers, real estate is nothing more than a 0% forced savings account. Contrary to popular belief, your primary residence is a terrible investment. If you want to see why, I lay it out in detail in this video right here. For that reason, I rent the house that I live in. And there's a second reason to rent your home. You get to live in a nicer place for less money. For example, right now I live in a $3 million home. And if I purchased it, I'd have to put down at least 20%. That's $600,000. And I'd have a sizable monthly mortgage payment of approximately $12,000 or so. And then when you add taxes and insurance, that adds up to a monthly nut of about 15 grand that I'm contributing to an investment that pays a 0% return. Instead, my family and I can live in the same house for half the money. And I can use that $600,000 to pick up a few more income properties to offset my rent even more. This way, I get all of the wealth benefits of real estate and live in a nicer home. Real estate, it's the greatest investment on earth, but no one said you had to live in your investment. In most cases, it's financially foolish if you do. Now, how did I pull off living in this $3 million house for free? It's actually even better than free. I get paid to live here. That's what it feels like. You see, I was born and raised in Southern California. I'm a 5th generation Californian, in fact. And up until just a couple of years ago, I knew no different. As a Californian, I had become accustomed to paying 13.5% of my income in state tax. And that's 13.5% in addition to what the IRS asks for every year. To put that in context, my last year living in California, I wrote a 6-figure check to the state. And I still had to write another check to the IRS. So when the politician of the day demands that the rich pay their fair share, they can bite me. And she better pay her fair share on the thousands of those ridiculous $58 sweatshirts she's selling. By the way, do you recognize the irony? I mean, it's a $58 sweatshirt. Who's her customer? The rich? Anyway, now my accounting team is just finishing up the books for last year, my first full year as a Nevada resident, where the state tax here is 0. So just by moving from California to Nevada, I get to keep 13.5% more of the income I work for. And that savings alone pays for this house by 3 times. So to me, coming from California, it feels like I get paid to live here. And it essentially shows itself on my bottom line as well. There, now you know why I rent my home. What did you find most valuable? Let me know below. And who do you know that needs to see this? When their name comes to mind, please share it with them. Oh, and if you're already subscribed, I pulled this video out special for you to watch next. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.